the 5 best investments we can make in 2023. All right, that's what we're getting into today. I'm just gonna throw the 5 out there. If you wanna stay for the commentary, go ahead and do that. Before that, I'm Austin. I'm a co-owner of cloudmusicsuite.com. I'm glad you're here. I'm also a stock market investor. Okay, if you're here before we hit the 100 subscriber mark, thanks for being here. As a thank you for subscribing, here's a picture of my beautiful kitty cat. Her name's Millie. She's so sweet. She's actually taking a nap right there next to me. Anyway, here are those 5 best investments: self-education, self-improvement, passively or actively investing in the stock market, paying off all debt that's over 5%, establishing a fat emergency fund, and then saving for a home down payment or a rental down payment. Let's jump into number 1. Number 1, self-education, self-improvement. I'm gonna mostly focus on the self-education side, but this would be a great investment for you. So let's talk about books for a second. If you just went out and bought $200 worth of books, rather than spending $200 on anything else, rather than investing $200 in the stock market, I would bet that $200 you spend on books is gonna give you the best return on anything on this list. All right, let me use this book behind me, One Up on Wall Street by Peter Lynch. I'm a stock market investor, right? I learned a lot of things from that book that I read multiple times over and over and over that I was able to apply to my stock market investing, all right, especially stock picking. I made easily thousands of dollars from the lessons I learned from that book that I applied to my stock market life, okay? It cost me like 13 bucks. If I was to put 13 bucks in any single stock, I would not have made thousands of dollars of profit off that stock. No stock in the world could I have done that on. Maybe if I invested in Bitcoin in 2008 or something like that. But that book right there made me, like I said, at least thousands of dollars. There's other books that I could talk about as well that have easily made me at least thousands of dollars. All of these books were like $13 to $20. Take $200, go buy 10 books that you think are gonna help you. Maybe you're wrong. Even if one of them makes you thousands of dollars from the lessons you've learned and applied to your life, it's still an amazing investment of $200 to buy some books, all right? You're also gonna get smarter from that. Not a bad thing to ever get smarter and become more valuable in the marketplace. Okay, other part of this, self-improvement, could be taking courses or getting certifications. If you know that certification at your job would increase your earning capacity by 10%, 12%, 20%, etc., and that's compounded on an annual basis, you should definitely go get that certification. Increasing your earning capacity and the value of the added dollar is hard to measure, but it's so powerful, especially if you keep your living expenses the same. If you can earn more money, that money can instantly go into more investments. And you can grow that amount bigger and bigger and bigger in a shorter amount of time because you're able to invest more on a monthly, weekly, daily basis, right? So if there's a certification out there that you've been thinking about getting because you know it's going to increase your earning capacity, go get that certification. Spend the 3 months, 6 months, spend the money, make it happen. It's probably worth it. That would be number 1. Number 2 up is going to be passively or actively investing in the stock market. I love the stock market. Very low barrier to entry. You don't have to have a massive amount of money to start in the stock market. And there's a few different avenues you could take. You could take the passive route where you're investing into index funds. Index funds are just ETFs normally that track like a bunch of companies. Let's say the S&P 500, for example, that's one of the stock indexes. It tracks the 500 biggest companies in the United States by market cap. And whether or not they get added to the S&P, they have to have a few criteria that they meet. So it's like, it really is, in general, the cream of the crop of the United States get put into S&P 500, all right? If they're doing poorly, they get dropped out, someone else gets added back in. It's basically rigged in your favor to go up over time because they're gonna only add the best of the best to this index. And that goes for the same idea with the NASDAQ, if you've heard of that before, that's another index. And then the Dow Jones Industrial Average, or the Dow 30, some people call it. Buy into one of those indexes. An example for the S&P 500 would be VOO. Another example would be SPY. They do the exact same thing. No need to buy both of them, just buy one of them. That would be the passive investing route, also called index investing. If you want to be an active investor, it's going to require a lot more work, a lot more research time. You really have to kind of become an analyst in the stock market so you can decide, is X company, specific one company, a good buy or not? This inherently comes with way more risk because you're less diversified, right? If you know what you're doing, that de-risks the situation a lot. So if you know how to value a company, you understand market volatility, you understand market psychology and why things go up, why things go down, why things are valued the way they are, there's really not as much risk as people make it seem to be. But active investing versus passive investing are really very, very different things. Active investing is kind of like a job. You have to spend a lot of time on it. Passive investing is not really a job. You just put the money in and you get your solid somewhere around 8 to 10% return. And if you're cool with that, then go with that. It's a lot less risk. It's a lot less time that you have to spend, probably a lot less stress, to be honest. So choose one of those, go ahead and invest in the stock market. Great tool to build wealth. All right, number 3 up here is to pay off all bad debt. All bad debt. Bad debt, in my opinion, would be anything above a 5% interest rate. So if it's above a 5% annual interest rate, examples of that would most likely be margin debt in the stock market. If you have any of that, please pay it off. Personal loan debt. If you took out a personal loan, it's probably above 5%. Pay that off. Credit card debt. Credit card debt is so much higher than 5%. I've never seen credit card interest lower than like 20, maybe 18%. That's so high. To match that return in the stock market is not easy. Just go ahead and pay that debt off as soon as possible. If you have any credit card balances outstanding, please pay those credit cards off. If you, for some reason, got in a pickle and you took out a payday loan, pay that payday loan off as soon as possible, okay? Pay off any bad debt. The rate that you're gonna get on that bad debt is guaranteed to be 5%, 6%, 7%, 8%, etc. Whatever that rate is, that's basically what you have to beat in the stock market or whatever investment you have. Maybe you're investing in real estate. That's what you have to beat in order to make sure that you're still net positive. Pretty low percentage chance that you beat 22% on an annual basis every single year, year in and year out, like a credit card would be. So pay that debt off ASAP. Number 4, saving a fat emergency fund. 2023 is probably going to be a year of economic slowdown, potential recession. I don't know if it's going to hit the defined specific negative GDP growth 2 quarters in a row again, but we're probably going to go into a recession of some kind. So have a fat emergency fund. I would say the very, very, very minimum you should have for an emergency fund would be $1,000. $1,000 in an account that's separate from your checking, separate from your savings. It's a totally independent account that you're only allowed to touch in the case of emergencies, okay? Better situation would be to have somewhere between 3 and 12 months of expenses. I know that 12 months of expenses is a lot of money for most people. For spending $2,000 a month for you and your spouse to live, or just you're single maybe and you're living by yourself, if you're spending $2,000 every single month, that means you need $24,000 at the upper end of the emergency fund. Not needed, but to have that money sitting there for you to fall back on in case something goes wrong, that's going to give you great peace of mind. But anywhere between 3 and 12 months would be ideal. I feel like you'll feel pretty good about that. It's all up to you how risk averse you are and how basically scared you are that we're going to go into a recession and potentially mass layoffs and mass job losses. I do think an emergency fund of 3 to 12 months is a necessity and would be an amazing investment for 2023. Last one up here is to save for a down payment on a home. If you don't own where you live right now, it'd be great for you to, in my opinion, after you hit all the other 4 that's on this list, start to save some money in a specific account that is down payment for a home if you're a renter right now. If you already own a home, you could start saving for an investment property, right? Start putting money away every single month. Maybe it's $500 a month, maybe it's $1,000 a month that you can put into a separate savings account where you can buy a rental property with. That would be a good investment for 2023 as well. All right, hope you enjoyed these 5. Let me know which of the 5 you think is the most valuable down in the comments. If you're still here at this point, you clearly liked it, so go ahead and like the video and subscribe. Subscribe for Millie. I showed you a picture at the beginning. We gotta blow her up. We gotta make her famous, all right? Hope you got a lot of value out of today's video. We'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.